Welcome back to Recruiter.com. In this fifth video on lookup and reference formulas, we're going to take everything that we just learned about lookups and combine that with math, logic, and text formulas. If you haven't gone over the math, logic, and text formulas videos, this might get over your head, so go back and check them out. All right, so here's a question that our managers may ask us. So they might say, from today's sales orders, do any of the customers have a past due balance already outstanding? And then if they do have one of these past due balances outstanding, how much is that past due balance plus their new orders that they've issued today? All right, so let's remove the answer first, and then let's begin typing the formulas down here. We should just break this into smaller pieces. So the first question is asking, does the customer have a past due balance? And to figure that out, we can just have it look up these names, the first and last name, against the receivables table here and see if a past due balance exists. So that could be just a true or false answer. So let's start with that. Now we can simply match these first and last name right here to see if it's outstanding on a receivable balance by using the VLOOKUP formula to see if this first name and last name concatenated together, combined together, is in this list over here. So to do that, I'm just going to type the VLOOKUP formula, the lookup value. Again, I'm going to take the first name, put an ampersand to combine it, and double quotes, put a space in there. So I need to make sure I have a space with the last name Smith. And then I'm going to look it up against the table array of this receivables here, lock it up with F4, comma, I'm going to return the past due balance, so column 2, and then false for an exact match on the name, on this customer name that's being concatenated or looked up against with this first and last name here. So if I press enter, you can see it says NA. And just to check this real quick, we can go ahead and select this first lookup item that we're looking up, this value here, and press F9 to evaluate that piece of the formula. And you can see Steve space Smith was returned, and therefore it's not in here. So it is correctly working. Just wanted to verify that. And again, it says NA. So it's working correctly, but it's not found, which means that it does not have a past due balance. The next thing that we can do with this NA formula is we can actually type a formula on it to check if it is an error. So we can say is error, and it will give us a true or false answer. So I'm going to select that and close it up, and it tells us that it's true. So now that we know that this is true, then it's not over here. But if it's false, it is over here in the receivables table. Therefore, we can use the if statement, use the logic test of true or false, whatever this is returning here. We can use that and put different values in there. So if it is true, then we just want to say, no, there is no past due balance. But if it's false, we want to go ahead and actually reference whatever this value is that came in the past due. So let's close that up and hit enter. So right now, obviously it says no. So now let's go ahead and switch this up with customer that actually does have a receivable balance over here. Let's use Sally Pants. And I hope you enjoy these names because I know Excel can get a little bit mundane sometimes. So let's switch in here. Okay, so we're referencing Steve Smith. So let's bring this down to Sally Pants and look that one up. All right, 7,500 comes back false because it is in this list because it's not an error. So this is error, this is lookup on receivables, and here is the value that it will be returning at the end. Now the last piece is, remember it said in here, so how much is that past due balance plus their new order? So we need to actually add the order of Sally Pants. So right here, let's enter it in, F2, and pop in and press plus this order, that total of the order that they placed today, and hit enter. So now it's this amount is outstanding, 7,500 is on their past due, what they owe us, plus $36 on their order that they placed today. Now we've gone ahead and verified that these formulas work both if it's true or false, if it's able to look up in this receivables table or not. Let's go ahead and combine all of our formulas together. So I'm going to pop in here and it says if this is an error. And so if it's referencing this one, so I'm going to come in here with F2, hold shift and the home key to pop me to the beginning. And while holding shift, I'm just going to arrow back 1 to get rid of that selection of the equal sign. Hit Control C to copy it. F2 to pop in here. I'm going to replace this reference cell with that formula above. So I'm just going to paste it in there, paste, and hit enter. Now the formula right below looks like it's referencing B17 right here. So I'm going to replace it right now. So I'm going to pop in here, hold shift, hold home. Then again, while holding shift, arrow back over 1 so I don't capture that equal sign. Control C, enter. F2 to pop back in. Replace B17 with the reference formula behind here. So paste, Control V. And now I'm all the way over here to B16. B16 is referencing this formula again to grab the value if it is looked up or if it is found. So I'm going to hit enter, grab this formula, again holding Shift, Home, backspace up 1 by using that arrow while holding Shift, then press Control C, enter, enter, and then pop back in, replace B16 with that formula so that is referencing behind there. Now everything that I have now is on these tables above. It's no longer looking at these formulas that I did in steps. So I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to pop in one last time, hit Shift and Home, and this time I will grab that equal sign, hit Control C, copy the whole formula, and then hit enter, go up to F11 where Sally Pants line is, and paste it on here, Control V. Now that we have it copied up here, all of these formulas down here are no longer needed, so we can delete that. And then all we need to do is copy this up and copy it down. And let's just check this. So Snoop Dizzle shows up, and you can see he's right over here on the receivables list for $350. So $350 plus his total of $781 of today's orders equals $1131, and that does equal. So I'm confident that these formulas are accurately working. Let's just pop in here and look at what we just put together. So we have if, which is logic, is error, that's information. This is the lookup now is the lookup in reference formulas. And this is a text formula. We're concatenating two things together. So instead of using concatenate formula, we use the ampersand signs. And then you can come down here, obviously you have another lookup formula. Then we're adding whatever gets looked up against the current day's order. So we're using math here. Now I'm telling you the truth when I say that this is a very complex formula. It's not like you can come in here and just start typing starting from if and then continue forward and easily be able to finish the formula correctly. It's so much easier if you come down away from your spreadsheet and start typing the formulas in bite-sized pieces, then going back, combining them together and putting it on the spreadsheet where you need it and copying it up and down just as we did. This is how you make complex formula writing simple.